Hi friends, today we are diving into a super interesting topic that often shows up in UGC NET English exam, and that is magic realism. If you've ever wondered about those authors who bring a little bit of magic in everyday life, then this is the place where we are going to discuss all of them. I'll be talking about authors from this field of magic realism, and of course I'm going to cover some previous year questions towards the end of this video to help you become exam ready. Before that, let's quickly understand what is magic realism all about. Now, magic realism writers, friends, they use elements that make reality feels almost enchanted. Think of characters who live in everyday towns like you and me, yet they encounter ghosts, or they can talk to animals, or they can experience events that defy logic. But here's the magic part. No one finds this unusual in such novels. Elements like supernatural creatures, dreams blending into reality, or time that does not flow linearly, all this make their way into the stories that form a part of magic realism. So this video is going to be super duper interesting. Stay tuned till the very end. Let's begin by talking about the guru of magic realism, Salman Rushdie. So let's start with a cool fact about this man. He's a British Indian novelist famous for mixing history with magic realism. And he doesn't just tell stories, he weaves history into reality and gives them a magical twist. Now, Rushdie was actually born in 1947 in Bombay, the very same year India got its independence. And just talk about the timing, right? You can imagine how this influenced his entire worldview. And we can see the influence in his most prominent work, which we are going to talk next, and that is Midnight Children. Now, this is a big deal. This book didn't just win the Booker Prize, it also went on to become Booker of Bookers, making it one of the most celebrated novels in English literature. And then there's another work by him, that is Satanic Verses. Now, this novel has sparked huge controversy worldwide. It even led to fatwa on his life. So, this book you can see is pretty intense, right? Now, one of the things Rushdie does best is that he dives into big themes like post-colonialism, migration, identity. These are the themes that you will commonly see in his books. And his books are like a deep dive into a mix of myth as well as history. Now, fun fact about Mr. Rushdie is that he was knighted in 2007 for his contributions to literature. Imagine a lifetime of writing celebrated with a knighthood. Not a lot of writers have got knighthood. And let us also talk about a spooky fact about him. Rushdie had a dream where he was stabbed just a day before an actual assassination attempt that was made on him. He talks about this in his memoir, which is titled Knife. So you can see how intuition driven this writer must have been. Now, wait. Before we move on and talk about the chronological list of Rushdie's work, let me tell you that I've created a special PDF that summarizes this entire video and provides you with exam-ready notes. You just have to message on the WhatsApp number that is there on your screen, or you can click on the WhatsApp link that is there in the description box, and I'm going to send the handy PDF right on your phone. Okay, now let's quickly glance over the chronological list of works by Salman Rushdie. You can see the exhaustive list on your screen, and out of this you can very well understand that Midnight Children, Satanic Verses are very important, and I am going to discuss Midnight Children in a little bit detail here. Now, this novel, Midnight Children, it follows the life of a boy named Sadim Sinai, and this boy is born at exactly midnight on August 15, 1947, the very moment India gained independence from the British rule. But that's not all that makes Salim special. He is one of the Midnight Children. Who are these Midnight Children? This Midnight Children is a group of 1001 kids who were born in the first hour of India's freedom, and each of them has a very unique magical ability. Now, what is Salim's ability? Telepathy. He can connect with the minds of all the other Midnight Children, bringing them together in a way that's almost mystical. So, through Salim's eye, we don't just get in his life story, but the story of India's journey from independence onward. We meet his grandparents, his parents, and we watch him grow up against the backdrop of the big historical events like partition, wars, and political ups and downs. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. As Salim grows up, he's not just navigating his own challenges. His struggles seem to mirror the up and down of India as a nation itself. He's searching for his place in a world that is constantly changing, feeling like his personal identity is tied to country story. Now it's almost like Salim and India are growing up together, facing divisions and moments of joy and loss. Now, when you will read the novel, you will also see that it deeps into the theme of identity as well. Now, Salim wrestles with questions about who he is, and just like the newly independent India, he is trying to find his way between old traditions and the new realities. And here is where the magic kicks in. Salman Rushdie, what he does is that he blends real historical events with fantastical events. Okay, तो fantasy वाले जो elements है उसके साथ में ये mix कर देता है, making us feel as if anything is possible in Salim's world. Okay, very, very amazing story. I would really recommend that anybody who's preparing for UGC NET must go through the plot at least once. If you're looking for video lectures that can explain the plot of all these important works, then you can even consider enrolling in my online course for UGC NET English. We are India's first animated video course wherein we explain over 5,000 important plays, novels, and poems in a very, very engaging and animated manner. For more details, you can check out the description box or give us a call on the number that is displayed on your screen. Now it's time to look at the second writer, Gabriel García Márquez. He's a Colombian novelist, short story writer, as well as a journalist. He's considered one of the most important authors of the 20th century. In fact, if you ask my opinion, I would rather say that he's practically a legend. Now, Márquez was born in 1927 in Aracataca, which is in Colombia. It's a town that became inspiration for the mythical town of Macondo, which is the mythical town in which most of his books are set. Now, in 1982, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, which honored his incredible impact on storytelling and Latin American literature. But what's more amazing about Márquez is his magic realism. He takes historical events, just like Salman Rushdie, infuses them with myth and fantasy, so you feel like you're reading about real world, but with a bit of a twist. Now, his stories also explore themes like solitude, love, and political struggles of Latin America, making his work very, very relatable and very powerful. Now, let's look at the chronological list of works by Gabriel García Márquez. The list is displayed on your screen. Out of this list, the only work that you need to read in detail is 100 Years of Solitude. And I'm going to quickly tell you the plot of this particular novel. So, the novel is all about Bundia family who is living in a small made-up town called Macondo. Now, this story starts with Josh Bundia and his wife Ursula, who builds the Macondo town from scratch. Over time, this town starts growing and new generation coming, and you will see that Bundia family story repeats in very, very interesting ways. Now, here's where everything gets really cool and elements of magic realism enter. Magical things start happening in Macondo. But people there who are living in that town, they see this as completely normal. Jaise, people float in the sky, live for unbelievably long years, face very, very strange events. It's a mix of everyday life with a hint of magic that makes the story feel very different. Now, through these moments, we explore themes like fate, memory, and how history keeps repeating itself. Now, you will see once you read the story that every generation of the Bundia family, they go through the same struggles. सबके साथ same ही होता है. Intense love, broken relationship, and the weight of family's past. They keep making the same mistakes also, which slowly pushes them down towards isolation and bad luck. By the end of the novel, you will see that the last of the Bundias is a child named Aureliano. Now, this child, Aureliano, he finds old papers that tell the whole family history. As he reads, he realizes that everything, even the end of Macondo, was already decided. This novel showcases how history tends to repeat itself, how memories stick with us, and how family traditions can sometimes hold us back. All told in a world where magic and real life blend together. Interesting, na? पढ़ना जरूर अगर time हो तो. Okay, so next up is the writer George Luis Borges, who is a writer, poet, and an essayist from Argentina. Now, this guy also, just like all other magic realism writers, he loves blending reality with fantasy, and he often dived into bigger themes like infinity, time, identity, and all these themes kind of made his stories, his novels feel like a journey that was happening through his mind. Now, there's an interesting twist here. Do you know that this writer became completely blind by the age of 55, yet he continued to write, just like Milton? In fact, he even led the National Library of Argentina while being blind, so that's commendable. Though he was nominated often, Borges never won the Nobel Prize, a surprising fact for such a big literary legend, but fate didn't had that in his list. And another cool fact about Borges is that he shared the Fermenter Prize in 1961 with none other than Samuel Beckett. So both of them were the joint holder of this particular prize. Now it's time to look at the chronological list of works by this particular guy. You can see the list of works right on your screen. Out of this list, the only important work that you should know in detail is his novel Elf, and I'm going to make you understand the summary of the same. So the story begins by this man Borges himself, who is really sad about the fact that he has lost someone he loved, and the name of that person is Beatrice. Now, trying to deal with this grief, he starts visiting Beatrice's family home and ends up meeting her cousin Carlos. Now, what happens to this man Carlos? He's a bit of a show off and is totally focused on writing poetry. But then Carlos one day drops a big surprise. He says that he's found something amazing called the elves. Now, what is this elf? It's a tiny spot that somehow shows everything in the universe all at once. Like, you'll be surprised. Everything. If you look into that hole, you can see every place, every moment, past, present, future, everything all at the same time. You can see how marvelous such a thing would have been. Now, naturally, when Borges got to know about this, he was so much eager to see it. So he heads down to the basement where Carlos says that the elf is. And when he looks into it, he's totally overwhelmed. He sees everything, every little detail, every part of the universe in 1 second. And it's amazing, but also kind of scary because it makes him realize how big everything really is and how little we can actually understand. So, very nice philosophical novel, I would say, something that is my personal favorite in a genre that I love reading. Okay, so after an exhaustive discussion on the most important magic realism writers, it's time to look at some solved questions from this particular topic that has been asked in the recent UGC NET English exam. The first question is right there on your screen, and the correct answer is satanic verses. Friends, we've already discussed this while I was talking about Salman Rushdie in this video. A fatwa was issued against Rushdie following the publication of satanic verses because it kind of sparkled significant controversy in the entire Islamic community. Many found parts of this particular book was found offensive, leading to a call for his death by the Iran supreme leader in 1989. So please remember, fatwa is linked to satanic verses by Salman Rushdie. Okay. Next up is a question that asks that the novel 100 Years of Solitude is often associated with which literary movement? And I'm sure you have guessed it right. It is magic realism. 100 Years of Solitude is one of the most classic examples of this particular style of magic realism, blending everyday life with magical events that are treated as normal. Now, you can see how in-depth questions are asked by UGC NET from this particular topic. So make sure that whenever you are covering a work, you are doing it in detail. Now we have another question for you, which is there on your screen. Let's see if you can answer this. If you know the right answer, put that in the comment section, and I will love to know who gets it right at the first place. If you're looking for more PYQs on this topic, you can check out my exclusive mock test series, which provides you with 3000 plus topic-wise questions. Plus, after every test, you will get a detailed performance report and your ranking in the All India leaderboard, which will help you spot your weak and strong areas. So that's it, my friends, from my side for this lecture. I'll meet you very soon in the next lecture. Till the time we meet next, happy learning, keep loving literature, and stay tuned to arpitakarwa.com.